Beautiful seekers, this is Clarity 1129. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is on trying relationships. No matter what our relationships are going through, whether they are romantic, whether they are friendships, in whichever capacity, if we coexist with other people, from time to time clashes are inevitable. However, sometimes we do need to reflect upon clashes which are non-stop, clashes which happen so frequently that you find that when the person comes into the room or when you're together, it's just taking from you. It may be taken from the other person. You don't feel like yourself anymore. You're prickly even before conversation starts. Then it's time for you to reassess whether you need to be in this relationship at all, whether you can mend it, should you mend it. And we're going to take a look at all of that in today's reading, all right? Today's reading, we will be live shuffling all the cards. And we're going to pull out 7 cards from tarot for 7 questions. And the question, basically they're not questions. We're going to see what you bring to the relationship. What is your contribution towards where it's reached today? What is their contribution to where it's reached today? What can you do to make things better? What can they do to make things better? Are there any external influences which are making things worse? Then we look at, can you mend this relationship? And last but not the least, the most important question, should you mend this relationship? All right? So these are the 7 questions. Only take what resonates. You know your situation better than anyone else. All right? You can use this for any relationship which is going through a rough patch. But more often than not, these relationships revolve around a love situation, a long-term connection, mostly a marriage, perhaps. So if you are going through this reading is for you. I'm happy to have you here, that you actually, that's the first positive step that you've taken, that you want to see if there is a solution to make things okay. All right? And I do hope you get some sort of clarity and guidance on your situation, something that you already knew, and your decision making hereafter becomes easier. All right, now let me introduce you to the piles, beautiful seekers. We have 3. Pile number 5 is the Chakra Wisdom Tarot and the Red Jasper Crystal Ball. Pile number 2 is the Unfolding Path Tarot and the SODALITE Crystal Ball. And pile number 3 is the Good Tarot and the Green Aventurine Crystal Ball. All right. Now, beautiful seekers, if you're naturally intuitive, the timestamps are given below. You may head to your pile and I will see you there. And for those of you whom the quick meditation helps, beautiful seekers, sit with your spine erect, palm open, facing upwards. When you're ready, gently close your eyes. And when you're ready, take in a deep breath. Hold. Focus between your eyebrows. Say to yourself, connect with your inner guidance, knowing it will never lead you astray. When you're ready, gently breathe out. When you're ready, open your eyes. Whichever pile calls to you, that is your pile. And now I will see you at your pile. Pile number 1. Those of you who've chosen the Chakra Wisdom Tarot or the Red Jasper Crystal Ball, welcome to your reading. We'll place your crystal here. While we shuffle your cards, let me tune into your energies. I feel for a lot of you, you need to work on your bottom chakra. You may be, some of you may be already healing, and some of you really need to heal insecurities. Maybe you need to work on certain fears, some which may date to a long, long time ago. Some may be ancestral patterns, but something that keeps you stuck. And it is so huge and scary in your mind, wherein the reality may be, very different. But the fear has become really big in your mind, and you need to release it. You will be actually helping future generations if you come out of this fear, because this may have started as something which was, fear of something that's imminent, but over a period of time, there is no real danger, but the fear still remains. And this is something that you need to work on. For some of you, it's got to do with your mindset, lack mindset, your relationship with money. But for most of you, it's insecurity. There could be fear of abandonment, or the feeling that you're not good enough, or fear of some kind. And maybe this fear, without you realizing it, you're bringing this into your relationship, which is causing these problems. For some of you, your person may have the same issues, and you might be triggering each other. Anyway, let's take a look. We're going to pull out 7 cards, and I will read out the question for each card as I take them out. So the first one, Spirit, for pile number 1, what is their contribution to the relationship to make it reach this stage, Spirit? I'm going to put your cards this side, your person's cards this side. If this resonates with you, you can switch. If neither resonate with you and this doesn't feel like your situation at all, if called to, choose another pile, or this is not your reading at all right? I have more of these relationships. You can check out my playlist, but don't force fit anything. Spirit, for pile number 1, what is their contribution to the current state of the relationship? What is pile number 1's contribution to the current state of the relationship? What is pile number 1's person's contribution to the current state of the relationship, Spirit? What is pile number 1's person's contribution to the current state of this relationship? What can pile number 1 to do to heal this relationship and move it forward? What can their person do to heal this relationship and move it forward? What are the external influences in this connection? Can this relationship be saved? Should this relationship be saved? Should this relationship be saved? Bottom deck energy is the moon. There's a lot of confusion here. There's a lot of things that need to come out into the open. And there's a lot that needs to be communicated. This is in blue, your throat chakra. What you say is not what the other person hears, and vice versa. And you respond based on your own triggers, your own shadow, not on what is actually happening. There may be a lot of misunderstandings, keeping secrets in this connection. I'm also going to be taking out advice cards, so we'll pull them all out before we start your reading, all right? Get mystery, Bottom deck energy is cleansed. That's what mystery. I feel there's a lot that's unsaid. Some of you might really not understand your person, and your person may be feeling the same way about you. And you might feel you're an open book, but that's not how they read you. And that's the same thing I feel your person must be saying, I'm an open book, but you really don't know what upsets them, what makes them happy. It's not as easy as it was when you started out, perhaps. Peace and death is the bottom deck energy. You get dating. And bottom deck energy is serendipity. Trust all will be well. Bottom deck energy is forgive. And last but not least, you get homeward, take yourself out on a date. And bottom deck energy is garden. Something will grow from this. Is everything visible? More or less. You will keep your bottom deck energy here. All right, beautiful pile number 1. Let us begin. I'm getting some sort of scenario, but I don't want to go ahead. In fact, I feel there may be 2 sets of people who have chosen this pile. But let's first see what your contribution is toward the relationship. You get the Queen of Cups. Oh my Lord, I love this. This is beautiful energy. You bring a whole lot of love to this connection. And if at all your contribution is there to make this relationship reach this particular place, it may be because you have had the tendency to overgive. You have given a lot. Having said that, you may also be someone who gives. When they're sad, they just keep it inside. They don't let it out. You just feel it will change, it will transform, something will happen because there's so much love that you feel. Oh, wow, this beautiful energy, pile number 1. And what's their contribution to this? Oh, look at that. Oh my God, Queen of Coins. There is a lot of love on both sides. It's just that, but look at the 2 queens. They're facing away from each other. For some of you, this could be a same-sex relationship. It doesn't have to be, though. I just feel you're 2 equals. And when you started off, there was a lot of love here. But it's just that maybe your love languages are a little different. Maybe you have strong water in your chart and this person has a lot of earth in their chart. And the best part is both of you are feminine signs, because water signs and earth signs are feminine signs. You are extremely emotional, both of you. But you show it in different ways. You may be quick to show it. Outwardly, maybe tears come very fast, or you may just say whatever it is like it is. While they may appear cold, but they have a lot of emotional depth that can match yours, perhaps. All right, but right now, with both of you turned in different directions, I feel this person's definitely more practical, being the suit of coins here. And maybe when you've had an argument, you expected them to feel the same way and sit with you and work things out, but they've gone and back to their work and started doing whatever they had to, because they are very practical. But both of you right now, you've not communicated. Can you just see this? The bottom deck energy was, we've got all chakra colors in this, and we've pulled out 3 cards so far, all blue. The misunderstanding has become bigger and bigger because of lack of communication. There's a lot of love here, but you have triggered one another's shadow, which you've not accepted of yourself. Neither side has accepted their own shadow, and you definitely don't want to show that to one another. Or maybe this is the first time you've shown this side to one another, and neither of you can accept it. What can you do to heal this connection? Pile number 1. And you get the death card here, and this is also a death card here. This says, I'm learning that endings are mere beginnings. And this is a purple card, a crown chakra card. For some of you, you are maybe in separation at this time. Things may have ended between the two of you, because you just don't see eye to eye. There has been no communication whatsoever. And you're being told to transform the way you feel. Wait. There's something I didn't notice before. Let me just take a look. If you can see, there's another person here. And I feel this is your old self, and you're transforming, you're looking things from a different perspective, because you've done the work on yourself. And this is who you are becoming. Let's take a look at their energies. How can they mend this situation, or heal the situation moving forward? And they get the Princess of Wands in reverse. I feel your person has something that they've been carrying since childhood, something that they haven't healed, and their heart is hurting, and it's got to do with their creativity, their way of expressing themselves. And maybe this is a father wound that they carry with them. But just like this is death here, look at this, full of butterflies here. They are also awaiting transformation, but it's blocked here. And they need to work on this wound before this becomes okay. And you need to transform the old version of you and come into this energy before you both can actually heal this connection, is what I feel. Any external influence? Let me take a look here. You get the Princess of Swords in reverse. I think the only thing that is coming in the way of, it's not somebody, I don't feel this is somebody else, though there is a person depicted there. I just feel this is your energies, both your energies of quietly looking at one another, but not communicating. You are just not communicating. The communication, I guess, when you were together has broken down, wasn't so great. And now after the separation, I think it's practically non-existent. I don't find this as someone outside your connection. I just feel very strongly that this is just your own lack of communication. Can this relationship be healed? You get the Seven of Swords. Yes, if you stop deceiving yourself that it's over. The Seven of Swords is a card of deception, but just look at this. This is crown chakra again. It's time for you to actually put an end to this speculation on your own without communication. This is what's ruining your connection. You know, arguments, misunderstandings happen in any relationship, be it friendships, be it love situations, anywhere. But that is what communication is for. That you sit down, talk it out, say how you feel, present your case, allow them the space to present their case, and actually say, this is how you made me feel, this is what I did not like, and I was being, I've told you this, but you didn't agree with me, or you didn't believe me, and I don't like the fact that you don't trust me, whatever be the case. But it has to come out. You keep it in, they keep it in, then you keep speculating in your own heads, and things become worse. You start looking at one another from a distance, what the other person is doing, and you both are masters at showing that nothing has happened. So you may be having fun with people. When you meet them, you laugh and joke, and the other person feels, oh, they've forgotten me. This is the kind of thing I'm feeling. Zero communication, and all your childhood wounds are triggered here. Should this relationship be saved? You get the 5 of Wands upright. Yes, this relationship should be saved, and it will be saved once you have a conversation, and that conversation may be a huge fight, and that is okay. But right now, this is just being silent withdrawal. Again, it ends with a blue card. 4 blue cards. There's zero communication in your relationship, and that is what you need to transform. Not only do we have 4 blues here, we have 3 purples here. There's another blue here, another blue here. There is no communication in your relationship. Even when things were going great, there's hardly any communication in your relationship. You would say things to make the other person happy, but you're not being your genuine self. And it's time for you, maybe this particular separation, which I find a lot of you in, this is going to change things. And when you sit down together and actually talk it out, this is the first time you will be able to express your shadow. Let the other person see all of you, because you have accepted yourself with light and shade, and they will also do the same. You've got to work. We all have a lot of fears. We all have been through so much, which we're still processing. Nobody is completely healed. Healing is a lifelong process. But if you cannot be authentic in a relationship, then why are you in that relationship? If you feel strongly, if you find there's love in your heart, just know, basically, this is such a spiritual connection. Whatever you feel is what they are feeling. What your insecurities are their insecurities as well. You need to transform, they need to transform. And communication is key. And once you do that, trust that all will be well. You need to forgive one another. You need to be open and speak to one another. All right? And once you do that, something good will come out of this. You can see there's a sword here. You need to communicate. That's it. There's nothing else. You just need to communicate. This adds to a 6. This adds to a 6. Number of Venus. There's so much love here. Take yourself out on a date, and this says dating again. And I feel more than taking yourself out on a date, you've got to first sit and work on yourself to be able to take yourself on a date. Love yourself, Take some time to heal. Embrace your light and shade. When you do that, when you heal, you will actually understand things from a perspective that, yes, this is me, this is all of me, and the person who needs to stay with me is someone I need to be able to trust, to let them see my light and shade, and invite them to show them their authentic self when you show your authentic self. Both of you feel very vulnerable, and you're not comfortable showing that side to one another. And that's what's happened. Lack of communication. This is so sad, because this is such a beautiful connection. 2 people who genuinely love each other with so much of crown chakra energy here. There is a lot of love. It's a spiritual connection with the two greens here. You know, all for communication. Maybe the two of you met serendipitously, and maybe you are going to have your second chance when you meet, bump into each other somewhere, and this time around, go out with one another, and instead of just being awkward and talking about everything else except the main point, sit and speak. There will be an argument, but it's worth that argument, you know, is going to bring out both your I wanted to say ugly side, but I'm trying to look for something more polite. You bring out your shadow side, let's just put it that. And it's imperative that the other person see it. That's what makes you human. You have that, and the very fact that most of the time it's only your light side that shows that you're trying to keep it in balance and you're succeeding. But once in a while the shadow will come out, and that is okay. You've got to see each other for who you are. You know, you can't just be fake in a relationship, in any relationship, be it a friendship, any relationship worth keeping. You cannot be fake. Ideally, you should be authentic in every relationship. You have to let people see you as you are. Yet, we do take time to be ourselves, and you know, we have a lot of inner demons. We are comfortable, but if you don't tell anyone at all, then it's actually you just, for all you know, you may be hiding it from yourself too, and that just won't help. Pile number one, you've got to deal with it, and in doing so, if there are these issues that you haven't healed, they will come up for you to work on, process, and let it go. With this, it says, I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. Absolutely. Because right now the negative energy that's come up, most of it is just made up in your head. It's not real. Not for them either. This I've already read. I'm learning that endings are merely new beginnings. And that's what it is. All you need to bump into one another. And when you see each other, you know, you will momentarily, you will actually forget all the drama that's happened so far. And you will want to speak. And when you actually get down to speaking, there may be a lot of arguments. And that is okay. Don't stop it. Keep your ego out of this. You need to cleanse this energy because you've never communicated properly. Neither of you have seen each other's authentic side, and it's about time you do. Let the other person know everything that you feel, what you've been through. You know, you may be communicating with one another telepathically, actually. You have, this is crown, this is third eye, and this is throat, and this is heart, all the upper chakras. Upper chakras are all intertwined, but there's no communication because of, and that's what I feel, the root chakra. Your insecurities are stopping this communication. There is a lot of love. This is definitely a divine connection. There is a lot of love. You understand one another in such beautiful ways. Your hearts are open to one another, but right now you're not communicating, so it feels closed. All you need is to communicate clearly, and I may be saying it's such a simple thing. For you, it may be a huge thing, and if it is, then you should know that your bottom chakras need healing, especially your root chakra. There is some sort of fear of abandonment, some insecurity that is not letting you express yourself authentically to this person, and this person is, you know, mirroring the same thing. They also need to do the work. And when you actually sit down and talk, you both will be able to heal one another, is what I'm getting. So this relationship is definitely worth saving, and you can save it if you stop hiding yourselves from one another. All right, I'm wishing you all the very best, pile number one. I hope you actually have that meeting very soon and you are able to communicate. Don't run away when things go a little uncomfortable. Don't run away from it. It may be painful. Don't run away from it. Let it pass. What comes out after this is going to be something beautiful. And this time when you come together, your relationship will be stronger and it can weather storms, because now you see each other authentically for who you are. There's going to be a lot more compassion, a lot more acceptance, and a lot more, intimacy because of this. So don't let this chance go. It will come to you soon. Sending you so much love and light. Bye-bye. Pile number 2. Those of you who've chosen the SODALITE crystal ball and this beautiful unfolding path tarot, welcome to your reading. SODALITE. The last pile was RED JASPER, but it was all about them not being able to communicate because they have a block in their root chakra. In your case, I find you may be possibly, ouch, look at that shuffling. You may need to actually work on your, what kind of shuffling is this? You may need to work on your throat chakra. Some of you may be into astrology and some of you may be into astronomy, is what I'm hearing. All right, so beautiful pile number 2. If you've not listened to the introduction, we're going to take out 7 cards, and I will tell you what each card is as I'm placing it down. This side will be your energies, this side your person's energies. If this resonates more as you can interchange. If nothing resonates, this may not be your pile. Choose another pile if drawn to. If not, choose another reading, either with me from my playlist or from any other reader, but don't force fit anything, please. All right, and now we shall... Okay, I saw the Ace of Swords in reverse right now. So there is something that you do not know, or there's something that is hidden from you, is what I feel, or hidden from the two of you. Okay, is there a third party? Is there some, when I say third party, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone cheating on someone. It could be an external influence. We'll find out soon. Okay, for pile number 2, Spirit, what is their contribution to the current situation of their relationship? What is pile number 2's person's contribution to the current situation of their relationship? What can pile number 2 do to save this relationship and move it forward? What can pile number 2's person do to save this relationship and move it forward? What are the external influences in this relationship? What are the external influences in this relationship, Spirit? There you go. Can this relationship be saved? Should this relationship be saved? Bottom of the deck energy is the 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay. I'm going to shuffle all these cards before we see. I'm not liking the look of the 5 of Cups. Are you in separation here? Some of you have been mourning the loss of this connection for a long time, and you may be just coming out of it, and now you're looking for a solution, which is why you've come here. Sending you a big hug, pile number 2. Sending you a lot of positive energy. A lot of love. Okay. Oh, look at that. We get rest and anxiety. I feel you're going through a lot of anxiety. You've been in this energy and you need a lot of rest before anything else can happen. This person may have ghosted you. That's the bottom deck energy. You know, you may be in a relationship with this person, may or may not be marriage, but this is something which was meant to end in marriage if you're not already married. And then suddenly things went wrong, and this person did not give you any sort of explanation, maybe. I don't know. Let's not get ahead of myself and let us see tarot. But that's what I'm picking up. But you are extremely anxious because of this. Regret. Bottom deck energy. Indecision. Okay. Self-respect. Bottom deck energy, manifestation. Reveal what needs to be seen. Bottom deck energy. Speak your world into being. Absolutely. Communication. SODALITE. I feel you are master manifestors. Pile number 2. You can actually speak your world into being. You're not aware of it, but just look at that. Speak your world into being, and it comes right under manifestation, which has this infinity sign here. You are very connected to source, very connected. You get feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. The number 29, 11 or 2 could be significant, and you get sold. Make that change. Number 7 could be significant. Beautiful. Pile number 2. Let's just take a look at what's happening here. You're coming out of a cycle of pain. You've been mourning. You know, the 5 of Cups is someone who's really, really sad. The 3 Cups, contents of the 3 cups have spilled. They can't retrieve this situation, is what they feel. And they feel it's the end of the world because they've really invested here. But what they don't see is the cups that's standing behind them that can give them all the happiness in the world. But they've got their back towards it. And they've been brooding for a very long time. But finally they're coming out of this. And this is you, is what I feel. Let's see, what is your contribution to this relationship, whatever be the relationship? What is your contribution to it, that it's come to this place, all right? And you get the Page of Pentacles. I love this card. I love this deck, actually. Sorry, this is the Page of Wands. What did I say? Did I say Page of Pentacles? No, this is the Page of Wands. You bring such chirpy energy into this relationship. You are very young at heart, and you may be bringing warmth and childlike energy into this relationship. Maybe you don't really think too much before you speak, and maybe this is why you rubbed your person the wrong way, maybe. And usually things are okay, and this time it wasn't okay. But you bring very light-hearted energy. You may also be someone who's quick to temper, but you also, your temper dissipates just as easily. Let's see, what is their contribution to this relationship that brought it to this stage? 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This is not good. I feel that in the beginning, They may have put in the work in this relationship, but they stop putting in energy here. They stop pouring in energy into this relationship. What can you do to save this relationship, heal this relationship? And you get the Chariot in reverse. Remember we got a card here said indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. You need to be decisive about whether you want to save this relationship or not. With the Chariot in reverse, I was getting this picture of, basically the Chariot is, here it's depicted by this woman on a tiger, but it is usually depicted as a chariot with two horses both going in different directions, and they have to be in the same direction for the chariot to move forward. With this in reverse, I just feel that your mind and your heart are not aligned. You don't know whether you want to contribute to save this situation or not. You're not very sure because you bring this beautiful energy, you've got the warmth, and they were the practical person and they were putting in energy too, but they just stopped. And now you're in doubt whether you really want to, and maybe this person was someone you really, really loved, looking at your energy here. And I feel, I told you, you're master manifestors, all right, with these two cards here. And with your childlike energy, your happiness, you may have manifested them in your life. And now you're not sure whether you really want to manifest this becoming okay, because as I said, they had ghosted you. And before ghosting you, they have stopped putting in work into this relationship. And you may come across as childlike, but you're not immature, pile number 2. And now you're wondering whether you should just let this go or you should be here. You may have possibly come to this reading because you just want some more clarity before you do what needs to be done. I feel you're at the threshold of change. Should I let this go altogether or should I give it one more chance? What can they do to contribute and heal this connection? And 3 of Pentacles, yes, they need to put in the work. As simple as that. What they haven't been doing, what they once did. Is there any external influence in this relationship, Spirit? Yes, 3 of Swords. Oh my Lord, okay. I was picking this up in the beginning. There's a lot of anxiety here. And with that ghosting card here, I have a feeling this person has been going back to someone from the past or being closer than they should with someone. And when you've questioned them about it, they just ghosted you. And in fact, for quite some time in your relationship, they've stopped showing as much interest as they first did. They've stopped putting in the work, which is why you know that you can manifest things back, because you're very aligned, but you are not sure whether you want to. There is someone else, and I don't think your person has been very honest about it. Or maybe they've told you about past history and you may have thought it's over, but it wasn't over. Can this relationship be saved? Oh, you get the Temperance in reverse. There's clearly no balance here. It's going to be difficult. Should this be saved? No. So, beautiful pile number 2. Your intuition is on point. Your hesitancy to make things correct, your hesitancy to want to manifest this relationship, your indecision was all your intuition talking, because you are someone who may appear as very childlike, but you've got very precious energy, pile number 2. You're very childlike. You bring a lot of genuine warmth and passion into the connection. And you may have given them a lot of chances, but you also are someone who has your self-respect intact. This is 28 adds to a 10 to a 1. You may be natural leaders, yes, with fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius strongly in your chart. And this is something that you really can't accept. So this person may have told you about someone from the past and you were okay and you were having a nice time, but maybe they would bring them up often, or maybe they met them once again, or they were still in touch with them, which you're not aware of. And then suddenly they started, just backing off from this connection of yours. They were not putting in the effort. You've had an, talk about it. They wouldn't respond. They would, and for a long time you've been in this anxious energy and you were very sad because you were invested in this. Maybe you manifested them in the first place. But now you're coming out of this energy with this card saying, I know that I cannot change the past. You realize that you cannot fight with someone from the past, or if this is someone that's passed on and they're still stuck to that energy, you know that you can't really fight with anyone else. If they are there in the relationship, you can be there in the relationship. But if they're not putting in anything, even you know that nothing can be done about it. And your indecision of giving this a second chance is because your intuition has been telling you no, because you know by the way they have been that in the beginning they may have contributed and suddenly they've just stopped, no explanation. You may be in separation and people may be saying, come back together, especially if you are in a committed relationship. But you don't feel like it. You're not making a decision because you are not sure. You are not sure about wanting to contribute. And you're being told to first and foremost celebrate yourself. You are wonderful people and your self-respect is wonderful that you have it. You can have anything that you want and you know it. If you want, you can manifest this person, but you don't want to have a person who's not interested or who will keep coming in and going out, because your self-respect, your self-concept is very strong, and which is beautiful. Maybe you've not called this person out and you just know this and you've just been going through this anxiety on your own and you've not told the world about what you have actually seen, what you know, but you are going to make that change and you're going to choose yourself. You're just cutting them out of your life is what I feel, and that's what you should be doing, because that's the cards that you get here. It cannot be changed because there's only one person putting in the effort. The other person has already left this relationship, and it shouldn't be saved either, because then it will go back to you putting in effort, and you have a lot of self-respect for that, and the universe is really applauding you for who you are, pile number 2. But you should be able to communicate with this person and tell them what you've seen. Just don't go quietly, in the sense that they should know that you've known what's happening and that you're not willing to put in the effort. And if they're trying to two-time or, come back with shady energy, you need to tell them how it is. And thereafter, just release them, forgive them, because that's all they knew. And forgive yourself, because you've been in this energy not putting in effort onto yourself. But now you will take that time to rest, take care of yourself, slow down, celebrate yourself, and then manifest your best life. Speak your word into being. I feel you are gifted. For a lot of you, the life you're going to be making has got to do with your throat chakra. You will be expressing. Some of you may be writers, some of you may be artists, but you are meant to express yourself. Your throat chakra needs healing. and you are going to make that change. You are going to stand in your power. You do not need anyone who is not willing to put an equal amount of work. I just am so proud of you, pile number 2. If this resonates, I'm really, really honored to do this reading for you. How many of us can stand up for ourselves? And you've been in touch with your intuition. This is beautiful. Sending you a big hug. I wish you all the very best, pile number 2. And I'm sure you're going to make it big. And you know that. You are manifesting your best life. Sending you so much love and light. Bye-bye. Pile number 3. Those of you who've chosen the Good Tarot or the Green Aventurine Crystal Ball, welcome to your reading. I feel you've done a lot of work on your heart chakra. I feel you're very soft people, and people usually take advantage of you. But you've been through all of that, and you've healed your heart, and you're open again. Such a beautiful, beautiful message. Yes, I remember. All my oracle decks are upright, but all my tarot decks have both upright and reversals, except 2 decks. One is the Good Tarot, and one is the Cozy Wish Tarot. And since the other 2 decks had reversals, when I pulled this card out, because I just wanted it to match with the crystal, and then I remembered, oh, but that'll be unfair to the other groups because this is all upright cards, and I usually don't use this deck because it's very broad, so there's no place here either. But Spirit was insistent that I take this deck out, and that time I did hear the same thing, that you're very soft people. And I was told that if something has to happen, there are enough number of cards which are upright which will tell you what's wrong here, because you've come to a trying relationship reading. So we'll take a look, all right? If you've not seen the intro, I will be reading out the cards. We're going to pull out 7 from tarot, and thereafter we're going to pull out oracle cards. This side is going to be your energy, this side your person's. If this side resonates more with you, you can switch. If nothing resonates with you, choose another pile. If another pile doesn't call out to you, please choose another reading, either with me from my playlist or from any other reader. But do not force fit anything. Beautiful pile number 3. And now the first thing we're going to see is your contribution to this relationship, to get it to the point that it is in today. What is pile number 3's contribution, Spirit, to the relationship? What is pile number 3's person's contribution to the relationship? What can pile number 3 do to save this relationship and heal it? What can pile number 3's person do to save and heal this connection? What can pile number 3's person do to heal and save this connection? Are there any external influences in this connection? Can this relationship be saved? Should this relationship be saved, Spirit? Should this relationship be saved, Spirit? Now, since all of these are upright cards, I will intuitively see whether this card, is a yes. These 2 will be read intuitively, all right? Bottom deck energy is patience. Oh my Lord, you are the most wonderful people, aren't you? Oh, this is lovely energy. You've been very patient through everything. Sometimes a little too patient. Maybe your person actually feels less than, because you're such an angel is what I'm hearing. Irrespective of your gender, whoever's come to this reading, you bring very beautiful energy. Sometimes you may be triggering your person because of how sweet you are. That also happens. You get protection. You are divinely protected, and you get death as bottom deck energy. Ooh. Let's see. You need to transform. This relationship needs to transform. Or you may be in separation from your person, from the person on your mind. What is happening? Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Bottom deck energy is happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Spirit advice for pile number 3. You get sexuality. And you get reparenting yourself. The number, what is this? 31 or 4 could be significant, and the number 25 or 7 could be significant. Know your worth, new moon in Taurus, bottom deck energy, embrace the flow of life. Beautiful. That's my little puppy. He's not a puppy, he's going to turn 7 in some time. And he's not a little, small little puppy either. I mean, he's a Labrador. And he's wonderful, but he's going to be my puppy forever. And he's hungry. You get voyage. You already have all the answers. Bottom deck energy, bitch fire. The number 16, again 7. Oh my god, we have 3 7s here. This adds to a 7, this adds to a 7, and this adds to a 7. Stand up for yourself. For a lot of you, I feel if 7 is important for you, you may be healing ancestral patterns. Oh yes, there was this reparenting yourself as well. You may be feeling very detached during this time. Maybe this relationship has happened so that you it could get you to heal patterns from your past. Your worthiness. There, Joey is coming. Just give me a moment. I am back. That was longer than intended, the break. So I was saying that if you got the influence of 7, you know, your birthday adds to a 7, you may be feeling that your wounds are triggered as far as your worthiness is concerned. And maybe this relationship, because here you have know your worth, here you have stand up for yourself. You already have all the answers. You don't have to look elsewhere for answers. Your happiness is not tied to this person. This is something that you're learning. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this before, because I'm getting a few scenarios in my head, but I need a confirmation. So we'll start with this. What is your contribution towards this relationship and how it's reached here to this place? And you get the 10 of Cups. This is so beautiful. I'm not surprised, because when I got this, I told you you're very precious people. You're so patient. You're so loving. You bring all the joy and all the love into this connection with the 10 of Cups here. I'm not surprised. Your person, what do they contribute to this relationship and to get it here? Messenger of air. Okay, so this person could be someone who is pretty harsh in the way of communication. They're very intelligent. They're honest, but they're very quick to jump into conclusions. And sometimes they may feel they have all the answers, but they don't. They bring the energy which draws you to them because they're very intelligent. They've got a beautiful mind. But very often they can be pretty harsh. And they don't do it with malice, and you know that. That's why you're patient, you give them chances. I'm getting this message with the sexuality card here, and I've been picking this up for some time. I feel that you and your person have not been intimate, or this is something that you're waiting for, but it's not happening. And you're wondering whether you're compatible or not. And this is something you find it uncomfortable to discuss. This person may be always in their head, and or maybe intimacy for them is purely physical. There is no emotional aspect to it, and this makes you feel a little uncomfortable, and it makes you start feeling unworthy. You get a sense of being used is what I'm feeling. See, this may be your reading or it isn't. Don't let anything take from you. This is what I am feeling very strongly. It may be for a few of you. I feel this pile will not be chosen by very many people perhaps. But if this is you, then just know that no one else decides your worth. You do. All right? Whether anyone shows up or doesn't show up has got to do with them and not about you. You are such precious, precious people. You're being very patient with them. What can you do to heal this connection and save this connection? Wheel of Fortune. You don't have to do anything, pile number 3. You've done, all you got to do is work on yourself and your sense of worth. Know that you're special. People may be saying that, but do you feel that way? When you start healing yourself and coming into balance, this card which says patience is also the card of temperance basically. And while it talks about patience, it also talks about coming into balance. And to come into balance, you really need to know your worth. And when you do that, it's just a matter of time. You don't have to do anything at all. This is 10-10. The cycle is about to complete itself. You just need to keep working on yourself, your sense of self, standing up for yourself. You know the answers. That's what I feel. You're very mature. You are going, in flow state. You may be you may be water signs, or you have very strong water in your chart. And this person may be an air sign. What can they do to heal this connection and move it forward? 10 of Fire. 10 of Wands is someone who's got a lot of burdens. All right? Here it's depicted differently. But this person is possibly working on something. And whenever they come to you, they're preoccupied, which is why you're patient, because you may be knowing what they're working on. But this connection definitely needs to transform with the Death card here. And your person has to put an end to whatever this thing is that's burdening them. Either they come and speak to you about it, or they need to come into balance so that they can pour in energy here and not just at something else which is taking from your connection. They are preoccupied with their work. Maybe, this person is a workaholic. And it's got nothing to do with them not being interested in you, but work consumes them. Maybe they need to heal. And this reparenting yourself is not just for you, it's for them too. Maybe their sense of worth gets, comes out only when they work, and so they just give their all to their work, and there's hardly any time for anything else. This card is, are there any external influences? And you get the Queen of Water. And the first thing that came to my mind was this person's mother or your mother, or both your mothers. Your relationship with your mother or your person's relationship with their mother, whether they are actively there in your life or just sitting in your heads, but this is the major influence in this relationship which is not helping things progress. Your sense of worth may be triggered by your mother. Maybe your mother has told you you're not good enough. Whoever you are, however, maybe how you look or whatever, your mother has triggered your sense of self-worth, and this person's mother may have told them that worthiness comes only if they work, and so they give their all to their work just to feel worthy. And while your mother and both your mothers have loved you a whole lot, so you feel so much of loyalty and so much of love for them that whatever they've said has been ingrained in you, and you need to, both of you need to reparent yourself, because you're stuck with something that a parent taught you. Maybe your parents were not healed themselves, or maybe they said it in a way they didn't expect you to take it so seriously and lose balance in your life. But both of you are under the influence of your mothers. Your mothers are not actively doing anything here, but they trigger your sense of worth, and differently for the two of you, which is why this is happening. And you both have to heal, reparent yourself, have that conversation, however uncomfortable it is. Know that you're divinely protected. Forgive yourself, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Maybe both of you have deep down inside you're resentful of your mothers, which you've not worked on, which you need to work on. And this will bring you a lot of happiness. Maybe your mothers knew what they were taught and they just passed it on, and you've just taken it just as it has come to you, and you may have taken it at a very young age, and now you're torturing yourself over it, and it's not the way to go forward. You need to reparent yourself. Can this relationship be saved? Absolutely, with the Empress. You may be divine counterparts. This is so beautiful. This is going to be such an abundant relationship. You have a beautiful heart, they have a beautiful mind, and you just meant to be. But you've got to work on your childhood issues, all right? And it has to happen. You may have to show patience before this person heals. And meanwhile, don't be focused on them, but focus on yourself, because both of you need to heal. Should this, should this relationship be saved? Absolutely. It's going to be a very abundant relationship with the Queen of Earth here. You're meant to be. This is such a beautiful relationship, really. And this, I feel, more than anything, this doesn't feel like a friendship or any other thing. This is very much a love situation. In fact, most of these readings come out as love situations. When I'm interpreting, I interpret for love situations unless something really stands out. But this is such a precious relationship. You both need to work on your mom wounds and liberate yourself from that. Speak to one another. Discuss how you feel. Bring about everything, including your sexuality. Whatever it is that's bothering you, speak about it. This person will only be happy. And for this person, since they've got a beautiful mind, they like engaging in conversation. You may be someone who understands people telepathically, but if that's what you expect them to do, they're not going to be able to understand. So speak it out. All right? I'm sending you so much love. All the very best. This is a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Don't let it go. Sending you so much love and light. Bye-bye.